What a crazy day in the futures markets today, guys. All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how today at exactly 8:42 a.m. we nailed a monster sell-off in the futures markets without using any indicators at all. All right, let's get at it. All right, what's up, guys? It's Mark here at DinoTrading.com. Hope you had an awesome trading day today. Yeah, the volatility's back. As you guys know, down days are much more profitable than up days. When everybody hits the exits at the exact same time, volatility spikes, and there's some incredibly amazing trading opportunities to play the markets to the short side. Okay, so what I want to show you guys today is a really interesting way, all right, on how to forecast, right? How do we forecast this red bar right over here, okay, before that red bar actually closes? You get what I'm saying? Meaning, what is the relationship between an up bar and a down bar? Okay, so as you can probably imagine, you know, the ability to forecast this red bar before it actually closes, I mean, that would be magical, right? That would be an incredible feat if I could show you how to do that, right? So I'm going to show you a really simple way, guys, on how I use trend lines, okay? Nothing more than two dots that connect a line. I call it a trend line, and I'm going to show you how I was able to catch a really nice turning point in the futures markets today without using any indicators at all. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to get to a side-by-side view of the market. All right, I have been preaching this for the last 20 years. It's been working amazing. This is going to work for the next 20 years. It's going to work for the next 500 years. All right. What a side-by-side view allows you to do is drill down on a very microscopic level, okay, using higher time frames and lower time frames, okay? So you're running your technical analysis and your predictions based on the higher time frame, but you're using a smaller time frame, you see here on the right, to physically execute, right? To physically take an entry, to physically take a trade, place your stops, look for low risk setups, right? Basically, you're looking at the chart on the right here, the smaller time frame chart, and this allows us to really look for high probability setups based on what the chart on the left is telling us. Makes sense? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you my simple three-step process on how to predict this red bar before it even starts. All right, and to do that, we need to know where the previous bar of the opposite color was, right? Because if you're waiting for a red bar to close, meaning if you're waiting for a downtrend to start, or you're trying to predict the start of a downtrend, which is a new trend, then you first need to know where did the uptrend start, right? So if I pop that into the chart on the right, guys, this is what it looked like, all right? There's nothing special about this, all right? All I did here was I drew this starting point of the uptrend, okay, from our higher time frame chart, and all I did was I popped it into the smaller time frame chart just so that you guys can see where the uptrend started, right? Because in order to predict a downtrend, which is essentially a new trend, we first need to know what was the previous trend, right? What is the trend that we're in currently? And that is an uptrend that started right here, call it about 8:30 a.m., okay? So now that we know the starting point of the uptrend, now I'm going to show you guys how to catch the new downtrend before it even starts, all right? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and maximize the smaller time frame chart, just like this, okay? And I'm going to center this so that it's visible on the screen, all right? And I want you to watch this next part carefully, guys, all right? I'm going to show you something incredible right now, all right? This is almost like trading magic, all right? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pop on my short trend line predictor drawing tool, all right? It's a very simple but powerful tool that layers on top of your charts, and it's shockingly accurate if you know how to use it properly, all right? So keep in mind the goal here, guys, all right? The goal is we know that we are in an uptrend, right? And we're predicting a downtrend based on other factors, whether you believe in the fundamentals, whether you feel like the market's overvalued, whether you feel that we're due for a pullback, whatever your trading bias is, that's where my predictor tool is going to make the most impact, right? So in this particular use case, all right, we know that we are currently in an uptrend. I showed that to you a few moments ago, and we're trying to predict the starting point of a downtrend. Watch how I do this, guys. All right, all I'm going to do here is check this box here that says enabled. I'm going to hit OK, and just like that, guys, all right, with one click of your mouse, can you see what just happened to the chart? All right, it layered on a bunch of really interesting drawing objects. Don't freak out. I'm going to explain to you exactly what these drawing objects mean. Okay, so the main thing that you want to pay attention to are the trend lines. All right, and there's only two of them. Okay, when you've identified a direction, in this case we want to play it to the short side. When you've identified that direction, you're only going to see two types of trend lines. One is a purple trend line, what I call your larger trend line, and then you're going to see a sequence of smaller red trend lines, which are your entries, what I call your trigger points. Okay, so this particular use case is actually quite interesting because my trend line filter had actually identified a much earlier start of a potential downtrend starting over here, right? Can you guys see this purple trend line and then a few splashes of red, right? Let me just zoom in on this part here so you guys can see that. See this now a little bit better? Here's the purple, and we got a couple of splashes of red here, right? And we got a really nice signal actually right here to the short side right there. And the stop gets placed one tick above that, and that ended up being, you know, a pretty sweet trade. But you know, whatever, say you missed that, right? And we're sticking to our rules here, okay? We don't want to try to be smarter than the market. We got to stick to our rules. We've identified that we're in an uptrend, and all we're trying to do now is predict a downtrend. And lo and behold, can you see this red right here, okay? This red trend line right here. Isn't that interesting? So this was essentially your starting point of trying to predict the downtrend. And you don't know for sure, right? Maybe it drops for a bit and keeps taking off. Nobody knows. That's why this is called a predictor tool. They're very scary to use, but when they work, boy do they work, right? Anyway, in this case, as you guys can see here, it drew a nice short trend line for us, which told us, you know, within about 20 or 30 minutes of this uptrend starting, right? 20 minutes later, we had a potential downtrend starting. You guys get what I'm saying? So the entry happens right here. You potentially take your short entry trade right over here. Your stop gets placed one tick. Really small stop, all right? One tick above the swing high, okay? And that's it. You see how this trade plays out. Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, but you've heard me say this before, right? The market rewards patient, diligent, and disciplined traders, right? So if I fast forward this a little bit and we see how this trade played out, well, there you go. That's how this trade played out over the course of really just the morning session. I mean, I could keep spinning this. Let's squish this in. I mean, just look at this thing take an absolute dump, right? And just like that, guys, all right, we were able to predict this new downtrend, okay, that came immediately after the uptrend, okay, using nothing more than a simple sequence of trend lines for a shocking 600-point move, man, in the futures markets. And whatever you trade, Forex, futures, stocks, there's nothing inherently unique about any one particular market, right? This ability of trying to forecast a new trend, right? So we're back to our higher time frame chart now, right? This ability to forecast the starting point of a new trend, okay? It's not unique to any one particular market, right? I mean, I showed you today's example on the Dow futures, but, you know, listen, here's the S&P E-minis, right? Right there. Beautiful short setup, right? And you got nothing else the rest of the day, okay? 80 points on the S&P, 680 points on the Dow. Guys, these moves are crazy. If you're sitting on the sidelines, man, you're missing out. You got to get off the sidelines, get in the game. I think the volatility is going to be here for at least another 5 years. I mean, this Corona thing's not going away anytime soon. Volatility is going to be there every single day, all markets, guys. This is how you trade the market. Listen, that'll do it for this video, guys. I hope you learned something here. If you're interested in taking a demo of this super trend line drawing tool that I think does an incredible job of predicting tops and bottoms, feel free to get in touch. Thanks again for watching this video, guys. See you on the next trade.